do 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 do. Welcome. Yes. We are back. Welcome to the first live Hug Nation broadcast of 2021. Yay, we made it. And yet, it feels like some of the things that were challenging about 2020 remain. What? No magic pumpkin turning into a carriage at midnight? No Superman making the earth go backwards and turn back time? Yep, we are on the same planet, same timeline, as far as I can tell. And we got to deal with the same stuff. So luckily, we have each other. We've got this moment, and that's all we've got. Well, welcome to the first broadcast of 2021. It's kind of an arbitrary date in the grand scheme of the orbit of the Earth. It's not like the Earth goes through a checkered flag once a year. We just set the date. And so, unfortunately, that means there is no magical reset button. We don't get our lives back like a video game or anything like that. We just keep going. So, welcome to a continuation of life and a present moment like always. So, today I want to talk about choosing and deciding between the easy path and the path of optimal growth. I have been placed in a situation where I have some decisions to make. We got a notice on our door that we have 2 months to vacate the premises. We didn't do anything wrong, but they want to sell the place. What to do next? Where to go, where to live. And in talking with my coach / therapist this week, I started describing some of my options, and I said, well, to do this would be the easiest choice, the easiest path. And then I continued, and they finally stopped me, and she said, is your goal to find the easiest path or the path with the most growth potential? And when she said that, I like on paper, when it's said back to me, of course, I want the most growth potential. But hearing it made me really start to see and be aware of how often I am making decisions and choosing comfort. And I don't know if this is more something that has gotten worse as I've gotten older. I understand that that is a tendency. As we get older, we are more attracted to comfort, to security. Adventure is a little bit difficult to step into unknowns. At least that has been my experience. And as I've been chewing on this question of easiest versus most growth, I've been seeing all the places where I do what's easy. I do what avoids little micro anxieties. Like I generally order food from the same places or visit the same places. And while I don't think it all through at the time, one of the reasons is because if I go to a new place, there's all these little things, these little discomforts. Where am I going to park? I legitimately have stress about that. If I've never been there before, what's the proper way to order? What's the mask process going to be? Am I going to be able to order quick enough that the person waiting there isn't going to have to wait for me? I have an issue with making people wait or being like a burden. The irony is that, as I say it out loud, making a waiter wait, you would think that's in their job description. It's like making a dancer dance or a house cleaner clean. And yet I think if they're standing in front of me and they're doing it because I paid them, it would make me anxious if a dancer was dancing for me as I watched, or a house cleaner is cleaning for me as I watch, or a waiter is waiting for me as I am trying to figure out what I need to do so they can go on and do the rest of their job. Yes, these things cause me anxiety. And while there's this romantic notions that I have, these ideas about living in new cities, maybe I'll go live in Portland for a month or two. Maybe I'll go live near a stream. Maybe I'll get a van and live on the road for a few months. These ideas are so romantic and awesome and exciting as ideas. But then when I start to place myself in these scenarios in my mind, I start to be aware of all these little micro anxieties. And I remember when I'm driving the Hugmobile someplace and I have to figure out where I'm going to get gas, for example, I stress about how am I going to pull in? As I'm thinking about where I'm going to get some groceries, I think about, am I going to be able to park there? And if I get to a new city, am I going to be able to figure out where I'm going to be able to park there? Am I going to be able to, and there's all these little stresses and these worries. As I confess these things, I have a little bit of shame. You would think that someone who has been exploring personal growth for as many years as I have would be laughing in the face of such silliness. Ha 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 ha! Oh no, I am evolved. I float through life, and the little anxieties just disintegrate as I smile at them with my Buddha belly. No, I still get those things. And sometimes worse than others. And actually, I've been aware just recently as I've been exploring these paths of easy and growth, how much of my current life and current decisions have been shaped by some fear of discomfort. And as I look through my decades of my life, looking back to, wow, I can remember times when I was paralyzed by that anxiety and those fears and struggles of getting out of my comfort zone, when shyness was just debilitating to me. People always laugh, oh, you shy? I'm like, yes, painfully so. One of the reasons why I like pink hair is because it forces me from being a wallflower and often invites other people to engage with me because I myself sometimes get shy and insecure and anxious. So as I'm looking at these paths before me, I'm trying to figure out which is the easy and which is growth. And it's not as simple, because as I am looking at my life as it is now, there is so much rich learning possibility in the current level of comfort, because I'm aware of decisions I've made and avoidant tendencies that I have, that perhaps I could make confronting those and learning about myself in these new ways could be the growth opportunity, even though the decision seems and looks easier or more comfortable than hitting the road. Maybe hitting the road, even though it is more adventurous and in some ways scary, it's actually the one that is avoiding sitting in my shit. And honestly, in this moment, I don't know what the answer is. But I'm really grateful for that feedback and that question, because that question of, do you want the easy path or do you want the path of optimal growth? Because I really had settled into a headspace of course, the path of least resistance. That's what you choose, right? I want to minimize my discomfort. I want to minimize my struggles. I want to minimize my anxiety. Of course. Wait, maybe not. Maybe the life that I want is on the other side of that discomfort. Now I just got to figure out, is that the discomfort of hitting the road or moving to a place I've never been? Or is that discomfort whatever's happening inside my own head and heart? Ooh, man. Like I said, you would think that it seems like I would have figured some of this stuff out by now, but nope. Apparently the practice of personal growth just keeps going and going and going. I feel like I've uncovered awareness about myself in the last couple of weeks that I was blind to in the past. And I'm reading and watching authors and lecturers and teachers and trying to be open to things that I used to think did not apply to me. I'm learning about avoidance and attachment theory, and I'm learning about trauma. And it's not clear. So I will embrace this as my current challenge. I will embrace this current moment. I will honor the fact that I am so blessed to have the luxury and the abundance that I have choices, and I don't have to make a choice based on survival. I can actually choose what battle I want to undertake next. There's a lot to be grateful in that. And I'm very grateful to have this moment with you. Thank you. I love you.